Because even when I've interviewed other, not just athletes, but entrepreneurs, the key theme always is it's your team. It's who you have around you that bring that to the table. So for you, it's NJ, it's obviously your parents from a young age to now, but and Mills, of course. So yeah, it's interesting that, they have to do those roles.
My team also, like as a masseuse, I just want to say the names.
Yeah.
Eddie was my masseuse from '08. I mean, he went through my whole career. Ricky Sims, he does everything for me also. You know what I mean? Even now that I've retired, if I need a flight, I still call him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's wonderful having a great team. They made sure everything runs smoothly. My life runs smoothly. So it's so important to find the right people to be around. You know what I mean? To keep your life together and to keep your focus.
Pick another good one. They're all good, actually.
Fear.
So fear. Do we need to embrace fear in order for us to pursue our dreams? Or does it become an obstacle that stops us from pursuing our dreams?
I think a lot of people, it does. I mean, a lot of people, they're afraid what people are going to think about them, or are they going to fail? You know what I mean? I think I learned at an early age about this. You know what I mean? I wanted to be the best, but injuries, because before I understood that I had scoliosis, it was up and down hill with my back problem. And for me, I learned at the beginning that, listen, if you want this, you have to do it for yourself first. You know what I mean? And initially, I was stressed all the time and worried. I wasn't always a mentally strong person. I was always stressed until I kind of met Coach Mel, that kind of guide me through certain things that at times you just saying, I forget this. I just want to give up, you know what I mean? And that's just the fear of disappointing everybody, the country.
And failure, right?
Your family, you know what I mean? So that's something that plays on your mind. But if you believe and want it as bad as I wanted it, just push on, you know what I mean?
And accept the fact that fear actually lives outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah,
and it's okay for it to be there because you actually do need it.
You do need it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You do need it.
But on occasion, when you've seen fear in opponent's eyes, it's not worked.
Yeah. Listen, it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
But for me, it's good to have people to fear. It's wonderful, especially in track and field or sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In general. But as you said, fear is good because fear actually drives you to want to do better.
Who do you fear now?
Nobody. Maybe my kids. You know what I mean? But otherwise, nobody.
Fantastic. Told you it wasn't like a normal podcast, didn't I?
Freedom.
Freedom. So you were talking about sacrifice earlier on, and the fact that you did sacrifice a lot, family, friendship. On occasion when you had to train, you had to eat the right thing, you had to stay in the zone. It's a heavy price to pay. Was it worth it?
Definitely. I think it was definitely worth it. You know what I mean? I look at it both ways when you say freedom, you know what I mean? Because growing up, I didn't have much, you know what I mean? So coming out, like, that helped drive me to free myself and to make sure I could take care of my parents and make sure they could stop working and they didn't have to worry. So for me, that was the start. And then the end of my career, it was just, yes, I've done it. I can sit back. I can provide for my family. And that's
how do you feel now? Because I know, like, and I'll touch on the documentary again, there were times when you were like, I just want to go out and party and I don't want to train and I don't want to have to eat this and I don't want to have to do that. How does it feel now that you can do that?
It's good to have the choice.
Are you kind of anticlimax?
Yeah,
like you've done it now.
Sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, oh, let's do it. But then you're like, let's stay home this weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the type of vibe. But I think sometimes they said when you can get things, it's always, you never want to do it. It's when you can't have it, then you want it.
Absolutely.
So I think that's maybe one of the things, you know what I mean? Now you can do whatever you want. It's not as appealing.
No.
As much as it was.
You don't want it as bad.
Exactly.
We only have a few more left, Usain, so let's see what comes up now. we've left it to the universe, you see, to control the flow of the conversation.
Versus self-doubt.
Yeah. So self-belief versus self-doubt. So I've seen you at your lowest points when you've had doubters, when you've had press saying things, and you've become the biggest believer for yourself, your biggest cheerleader. But then on the flip side, I've also seen when you've been at the racetrack, ready to go, and you've had the biggest doubts in your own ability.
I think, oh my God, I think I touched on it earlier. When I was younger, I was only doing it I was more focused on doing it for my country and my parents. And I never thought about myself once. You know what I mean? It was always just, I can't let them down. I can't let them down. So it was always that until I figure out I had to do it for myself first. I mean, to develop myself, to focus on myself. And then in turn, it will come out as helping my parents, helping the country. And so
the other way around.
Exactly. So I learned that at that age. And for me, one time I doubted myself was 2011. I was just going through a lot, you know what I mean? And when I got on that track, I didn't believe in what I have done. I believed in my coach. I kind of just was going through a lot and I kind of lost focus.
Yeah. And he knew as well, didn't
he? Yeah. He knew it all season.
He just came up to you and he said, what's going on?
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm good. And he goes, no, you're not.
I know you're not.
Different.
Yeah.
What's going on? You know what I mean? And as men, we tend to not talk about things as much, you know what I mean? It was actually after championship, I kind of sat down and talked to him and he said, I knew something was going on. So for me, that was the one time I really doubted myself and my skills and my coach and my team, you know what I mean? But after that.
That's a big thing to say, isn't it? Considering what you've just told me about how they feel. You look like you're quite emotional.
No, I'm just thinking, I was thinking about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I really came true.
Yeah. But what was your self-talk then at that point? How do you get yourself out of that mind? Because you did well. Coach told you, listen here, I know there's something up. Bring the A game back. And you did.
Yeah.
So what I know the coach had said something, but what else did you have to do? What gear did you switch at that point?
For me, it's just I just reminded myself, you know what I mean, that listen, you know what to do, you know what I mean? You know what it takes to be one of the best. So for me, that was something that helps. And as I said, my coach is really good at having conversations and explaining things to me in ways that I can understand. And the belief that I had in him makes it even better. So it was good. And even 2015, I remember after the semifinals where I stumbled, he came to me. And for me, as again, if you watch Usain Bolt, you'll see it. And he kind of called me over and he was like, champ, what's going on?
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, I was explaining to him, my coach, start right. He said, listen to me. We've been here before.
Yeah, don't make excuses. Before. Yeah.
Stop worrying about it. This is what we do. When we had like a 3-minute conversation and it kind of changed my whole perspective and I was ready to go again. So for me, it's like, he's that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?